this is Claudia here from the Bookkeeping Experts, and we are back for more information for you on QuickBooks to help you stay up to date on your books and in your business. Today we're going to talk about how to make sure that everything is taken care and you're ready to file your taxes. There's a few tips that I'm going to give to you, and I'm going to show you my workflow to do the cleanup for my clients. All right, so without much further ado, we're going to go straight into QuickBooks Online. All right, so let's get to QuickBooks Online. This is the simple account. That's the simple experts, and we have a lot of information here. First of all, I'm going to go to my books review. This information is not available for you business owners, but it's available for you accountants and bookkeepers. So if you're doing a cleanup, there's the month review, or you can change this to cleanup, right? So if you're doing a cleanup, it's a little bit different on the first page, because it has a setup. It will make sure that all the accounts are correct. Now, it's going to ask you to do a journal entry. I do not recommend that. What I want to recommend to you is to make the corrections necessary, right? And to make sure that those numbers will match whatever number is in the bank feed. All right. Okay, so first it's going to show the company setup. If it is accrual or if it is cash basis. Some people ask, what is cash basis versus accrual? What it means is cash basis, you count the income and the expense when you actually deal with the cash, when you transfer cash in and out. And accrual is when you accrue the bill, when you send the product to your customer, when you provide the service but not necessarily get paid. You will count that income and those expenses as you accrue instead of as you pay. All right. So the reason why GAAP does that is so that you can match your expenses and your income so that they can be on the correct period. That is accrual. All right. Okay. So it's also going to show you if we have any connections. Shopify here is connected to Shopify through Intuit. And then it's going to show the things that I need to do. I need to make sure that all the bank accounts balance are correct, and all the accounts, the chart of account is according to industries. So there's no duplication and things like that. If there is, then you can take care of that. All right, so next thing is going to show the disconnected bank feeds. If there is any, it's going to show up here. But there is none. Okay. So if there is none, means that you can keep on going. All right. So then it's going to show accounts without activity. Here, those are the chart of accounts, and maybe accounts that you need to correct, maybe merge it. And then you, like I said, you want to make sure that your chart of accounts is industry specify account, and that the accounts are also entity-specific accounts. We're going to check for duplicates and for accounts that are no longer used. This is for the cleanup. Transaction view. If there's anything here, means you still have transactions to be categorized. If you have transactions under uncategorized transaction, you can click right here, and you see all those transactions. Of course, there's nothing here. This is a sample account, but if there is, you can click on this page and send to your client. Now, for you clients, for you business owner, you can see those transactions in your profit and loss. Okay. Now, the transactions without pay, no, it's not gonna be here, and you as business owner not gonna see it, but your accountant will. Now, it's very important for you to enter all your payees. And the reason why, if you're ever audited, it's easier to find those transactions. Not just that, but if you want to find out how much you spend on certain vendors, yes, you need to enter all the payees on your transactions. Undeposited funds, if there is any undeposited funds, you want to make sure you correct that. Now, undeposited funds is going to be on on the balance sheet, and an applied cash payment is going to be on your profit and loss. Okay, always check for personal transaction. That means that if you paid anything with your business credit card that does not belong to the business, even if it is a different business, but the business is separate from this one, you want to make sure you change that. Okay, you want to not categorize as this business, but as maybe owner's distribution, or as an equity account that doesn't count towards this business. You want to make sure you have all your loans reconciled, and if there is interest, that those interests are entered in QuickBooks. You want to enter all your expenses. You don't want to pay more taxes than what you need to. Okay, and record all cash transactions. And when we say cash transactions, means that anything that you pay with a payment other than the payments linked into QuickBooks Online. You want to make sure you reconcile all your bank accounts and your credit card accounts. Those are the most important. There is another way for you, business owner. You can go ahead and take a look on the overview, okay? Client overview, and that's gonna show the reconciliation as well. So this is gonna be the overview for you, business owner, okay? So it's gonna show the company setup just like it was there. If you have any apps, if there is any reconciliation that is not done that you need to take care, or if it is a bank account that is here but you no longer use, so you want to make sure you zero it out and remove it from here. And the common issues is going to be showing under client overview. So if your bookkeeper is going to be here, if you are a client, this is where you're going to take a look. Okay, you're going to look at undeposited funds. If there is any uncategorized asset, those transactions are going to be here. Undeposited fund means that you need to match those transactions to the bank feed. If it is not matched, you want to make sure that this payment really happened. Because like I said, I had clients in the past that marked as paid but never deposited the check. So at the end of the day, we were able to find out that the check was never deposited. I either asked the client to send another check, or if you still have it, deposit it. Okay, you want to see if there's any uncategorized income or uncategorized expense. If there is, means you have to go over them. You can actually click here and it will take you there, so you can go over those transactions and categorize them up properly. Okay, accounts receivable is going to show you if you have anything older than 90 days. And if it is older than 90 days, you want to open up and make sure that this is really outstanding. If it's not, then you want to fix it. How do you fix it? If you are accrual basis, you can write it off as a bad debt, or if you are cash basis, you can delete or zero out the invoice. If there is any opening balance equity, this is something that you actually empty it out after you reconcile everything. If there is any opening balance, you empty out of the opening balance into the equity account. And if there is any negative asset or liability account, this is something you need to look at, because if it is a negative asset, means that there's something wrong. If it is a bank account, for instance, which happens most often than not, it means that you have more bills than payments, and maybe you're duplicating your payments, and that's something to look at. I have a client that actually had a lot of bills that didn't clear until the following month. So the account at the end of the term was negative, but it's because she had made the payment, but not until the following accounting period. Okay, so if there is any credit card payment that is negative, means that you overpaid, or that payments are duplicated. You gotta fix those duplicated payments, right? Okay, and then here is where you view reports. Okay, this is the business overview. This is where you, business owner, will be looking at, and books review is where your accountant, bookkeeper will be looking at. Okay, so those are the things you can make sure that is done prior to filing taxes. All the things that you can look at. If you click on transactions, bank transactions, you want to make sure that this number here matches. Keep in mind this is a sample account, so it doesn't, but it should be the same unless there's pending transactions here that needs to be entered. But at the end of the day, if you have nothing pending to categorize, these two numbers should be the same. Unless, like I said, there's pending bills that maybe you paid in 2024, but it didn't clear until 2025. Then, or didn't clear until later, then it's okay. All right, so those are the things that you need to verify. And as far as reconciliation, if you go to the bank register, one way for me to find out if that reconciliation is done right, I go to bank register either from here or from transactions, reconcile, and then register. But here it's easy. So I see that it was reconciled up to January 31st. I click on the funnel over here, and I don't put anything here on the from date, but I put the to date as the last date that it was reconciled. So now I'm going to put, it's too old. But if it was, okay, let's suppose it's 2024, by the way. This, like I said, this is a simple account. And I want to verify that everything is reconciled. I'm going to put the date here, and under reconciled status, I'm going to see if there's anything that was not reconciled. I'm going to apply, and if there is, now, like I said, guys, I put 2024 because I can't put 2023. It's too old. It's a simple account. But if there is all these transactions, that means that my reconciliation is not right. Because at the end of the day, everything should be out of here. There should be nothing in here. You should not manually reconcile that, but you should undo your reconciliation and make sure you eliminate any duplication that is in here. We have lots of video on how to fix duplication and match it correctly. Check it out. Okay. All right. And that's it for you to make sure that everything is all right. You want to make sure that you go over your client overview and make sure that all those items are clear. Those are the important. If you're a bookkeeper or accountant, you go to the books review instead and make sure that those actions are all taken care until the wrap up, where you can send the customer all the reports. Okay, so watch out for negative income or negative expense, because what it means is that it should have been, if it is a negative income, it means it should be an expense. If it is a negative expense, it should have been income. Right? Take a look in your balance sheet and verify if there is any liability that is negative. Means that you are probably recording all the payments but not recording things such as principal or interest expense or any other kind of expense. If it is a negative asset, means that you may be duplicating your bills. All right, let me go back here. Hopefully this was useful to you. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that everything is done here. If you're a bookkeeper, if you're a client, you want to make sure that everything is done here too. There's no pending transaction, no negative. So you can go ahead and submit to your account. Another tip is to go into the reports themselves. The first report I would take a look at is your balance sheet, okay? Because the balance sheet has your assets and liability. If you see, like I said, negative income or expense, you got to take care of that. All right. Accounts receivable, see if that number is correct. If it is undeposited funds here, you want to make sure you take care of that. Okay, undeposited funds or payment to deposit is the same thing. Just want to make clear. See the negative credit card here? Yeah, I have a problem here, Houston. I have to go over, make sure I correct this negative amount. There's too many payments, maybe duplicated, or even this payable here negative. There's too many payments. Okay, if there is large amount on undistributed tips, it's because you need to reconcile your payroll and make sure that the payroll tips were deducted accordingly. How do you fix that? You want to record that towards wages. So if it was recorded as wages and it's not supposed to be wages, is tip, you can fix that. A lot of ways, if you pay cash tips and your cash is not recorded, make sure you record those transactions. Okay, record your cash tip. How to do that? You can do a journal entry, or you can do a transfer to record that you're taking money out of undistributed tips, and so you're gonna credit undistributed credit cash, debit undistributed tips to reverse that. All right, like I said, opening balance should be 0, and then at the end of the day you want to empty all your owner's investment and expense so you can start all over on the following year. Especially if you're an S Corp, that part here needs to be 0 at the end. So, and like I said, you should take a look at the profit and loss as well and see if there is any negative income or expense. Okay, last year, run report. And if you're cash, you can click cash here. All right, so want to take a look at if there is any negative amount either on the income or expense. And also make sure that everything is categorized and that the income doesn't seem to be too high, because that would mean that you're probably most likely duplicating that income as well. And if you have reconciled all the bank accounts and you still have sales way above, take a look and see if there is any bank account, any bogus bank account there, or any asset account that is holding those balances in there, such as, Shopify or Square clearing accounts, which is actually asset accounts. All right. Okay, so this is it. That's how you check that your books are ready to go. Once they're ready to go, you can submit to your accountant, or your accountant can get a hold of your books and process your tax filing if you have not done so. All right. So let me go back here. Okay, so hopefully you found this content useful to you. And if you need additional help, remember you can contact us. We can do cleanup, catch up, and also ongoing bookkeeping if you want to focus on your business and let us deal with what we know best so you can do what you know best and make some money, grow your business. Okay, we can help you. All right, if you actually like to do your books and you just need additional assistance in understanding QuickBooks Online, we can do one-on-one tutorials as well. So contact us down below. We'll be able to meet with you and work with you and making sure that we'll help you get your books up to date. Okay, we're done. Thanks for spending this time with me. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate you spending this time with me. And if you like the content, like I said, subscribe to the channel and share with your coworkers, share with your friends and family that you know need QuickBooks Online, need some understanding, better understanding. And I hope to see you back next week. And until next time, you keep on smiling.